Hello and welcome back to Griffin, Indiana. This is episode number 44, and we're in the second part of April. What we're also doing is this is completely post-com. The reason for that is I recorded this episode maybe about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, because I remember saying, no, basically I've had a lot in real life at work going on, so I knew I wouldn't be able to be recording over the last couple of weeks. So I recorded loads, got it all banked, and I've just been slowly putting it out. This episode, come to put out, or come to edit, sorry, no commentary whatsoever. None whatsoever, so I must have had it on mute. There's nothing else I could have done. I must have had it on mute when I've recorded it and not realised. So yeah, pretty much what we're about to see now, I'm pretty much seeing it with you. Um, I kind of remember what's going on. I've edited and then sort of remember what happened, but yeah, we'll wing it, I think. Um, Here we're just finishing up, stacking up the wool. We've got, I think we were sort of peak time. I can't remember exactly what the price was, but the price was pretty decent. So I think we're just getting every bit we can get, every bit that's worthwhile getting, and getting it stuck on there. We might as well make the money that we can now. I mean, we've got absolutely loads. Um, how many did we take about 14 to 18,000 litres up to our spinnery, didn't we? So we're not going to need to replenish that anytime soon. So we might as well just get rid of it now. Just get them straps on there. It's really weird doing it like this, because obviously I played this like 2 weeks ago. So I can hardly remember doing it. God, them eggs are stacking up, aren't they? Did we look? Did we say October was prime time for eggs? Are we having a look now? Eggs, yeah. November. It's weird how these things come back, isn't it? Yeah, so November for the eggs. So we've still got absolutely ages, but we're going to make so much money off them eggs. We just need to actually keep the chickens fed, which, as you know, with that particular mod there, is an absolute nightmare. Only you can only top up 1,000 litres every time, and the munch through that in about, I don't know, 16 hours, something like that. Um, but yeah, it's definitely been worth doing. The stacking doesn't actually look that bad, does it? I mean, don't get us wrong, it's not great. I won't be going into that multiplayer competitive. I can't even remember what it's called. The sort of competitive mode that you can play where you can stack bales, and I've not even clicked into that. What else can you do? You can stack bales, and is it harvest? Can you harvest as well? Can't remember. But yeah, I should look at that really. I've said this before. Like when things come out, um, that Giants actually put out themselves, I should actually look at more. But I get too engrossed in playing the actual sort of maps that we play, um, doing the let's plays that we're doing. That yeah, I just don't do it immediately. The same when they bring out new DLCs. They've just brought one out, haven't they? Which is actually if I'm starting to like talk weird, it's because I'm looking at my phone at the same time, so I'm trying to find out what the latest DLC is. Um, I should really look at that as well. Still trying to find it. Right, if it's going to come up. I've absolutely not. Oh, is it the grape one? Is it the one for grapes, possibly? I can't even find it on my phone. But anyway, yeah, that's on there now. If it's not the grape one, I can't remember which one it is. I know it's got a yellow vehicle on it. It is the grape one, isn't it? Yeah, but we need to look at them we need to look at them bits of kit, because I know we haven't got grapes on here, and we probably won't get grapes on here. I just don't think we'll have the money to do that, but it's still worth looking at. What have we got? Just under 8,000 litres. Let's see what we get. I have no idea what we get. Was it just over 1,000 litres, or like 1100 per 1,000 litres, something like that? I mean, whatever we get, it's just free money, isn't it, really? I always say the same, don't I, with sheep. Like, you get the grass for free. I know you're not using the land for anything else, but the grass is free. The water usually is free, but obviously it's not at the minute because we picked the wrong mod. And we're not travelling all the way over to that little lake to get free water. Right, let's see what we get. Over 10,000, 10,500. Not bad at all. What's that takes up to? 287. You'll see in a second, it'll probably do it like any time. There it is. There's quite a lot of the cuts, and when we transition, it'll be slightly different. Like I might carry on talking over. It's just because it's, like I said, just because it's post-com. Just have a different feel. I tell you what I am talking about now is, so I want to thank one of the viewers, Danny. I couldn't work out, could I, if you remember, why we weren't getting the fertilizer down on the grass here, and why it wasn't sort of reacting the way it should. I think it was only saying like, I don't know, 15, we'll see now, 15 kilograms fertilized. He's quite rightly pointed out that it's because of our data. So we see we're outdated. Sorry, if you can if you can hear something in the background, it's one of my lads upstairs who's also playing on PS5, probably something like Fortnite or something like that, and something good's obviously just happened. Yeah, so we having to repurchase the soil information. It's not costing overly much. How much is this one going to cost? Yeah, so just over $1,000 it's cost us to get them two. And then we go looking for our sprayer, don't we? If we can find it, which used to be just in that corner. There it is, over there. And then I would say, if we were doing it sort of live now, I would be saying, hopefully this is about to work. But I'll take the suspense away. It works, and that's exactly what it was. So thanks, Danny, for that. That was really appreciated, because I wouldn't have even though it's obvious, it's so obvious. I wouldn't have even thought about it. It's just obviously we've worked this bit of land for so long now. This is like our original plot, isn't it? We started from nothing but this one plot here, and we've worked it that much. We've had God knows how many cuts we've had. So we're getting like 3 cuts a year sometimes, aren't we? So yeah, it's no wonder it's outdated. I don't even know what the how many years it takes for it to become outdated. But you can see it's going on absolutely fine now. Whereas before we weren't even getting that covering, were we? And it'd be going on even better if that gate was closed. There we go. I wondered how long it was going to take for us just to actually get out and close it. I mean, it'll only be probably the next episode, maybe, where this grass is ready to cut. And at least we'll get, if we get in the 4 or 5 bales, then that'll be absolutely ideal for us. We'll just get them whacked in the shed, and then that'll feed them sheep, because obviously, if you remember, we spent about 8 grand, didn't we? Because we ran out of food for the sheep. It cost us about 8 grand, I'm sure it did, to then to buy some bales. You can see the square bales are still in the back of the shed there, or one of them is anyway. I mean, they've lasted a while, but spending 8 grand on bales just needlessly is just throwing money away, isn't it? So we'll get over and we'll do the other field as well. I think we actually do loads of fertilising on this. I think, in fact, we do. This full episode is purely getting our crops either fertilised or getting herbicide down. I think we might get herbicide down on the big field. It's so weird doing it like this. I mean, there's benefits of doing it like this. I know some people, and I don't even just mean on FS, I mean when they're doing, when I've watched things like, I've said it before, I used to be like massive into FIFA. If I've watched YouTubers on FIFA, they would post com sometimes, wouldn't they? I say it wouldn't I? If you know, you know. And it is easier in a way, but also like doubles the time. If you remember, we done a this was when I very first started putting videos out, so like 2.5 years ago. We done a. In fact, sorry, it was when FS22 first came out. We went on Ubelleron and done like a speed series sort of thing. Where I don't think we had sort of particularly any rules or anything like that, but everything was on time lapse, and I did the post come over the top of every episode, but it didn't really work. I didn't think it worked that well. I didn't really enjoy doing it, and like I said, it took so much time, and I don't think I took to that map either. Like, it was all right. I tend to find with a lot of Giants maps, I don't particularly take to them. I loved Ravenport. I thought that was a really, really nice map. So much so that I wish it would come out again, to be honest. So that was obviously that grass field. What have we got in now? So we've got herbicide in now. I thought it was herbicide that we went to. So I think we spray this one off and then we move up into the our big field at the top. I'm struggling to remember what was even in here. I think it's sorghum, isn't it? Didn't we put sorghum in all the fields down here? Maybe even in our field, the one that we created this year, which had the forest in it. Might have even put sorghum in that. I can't remember. What we're going to need to do though is make sure that at least one, preferably a couple of the contracts that we do when it comes into summer is wheat and barley, so we can get that feed for our chickens. Because I'm not going to give them this sorghum. It's counterintuitive, isn't it? Just the amount you get for sorghum's obviously that bit higher, isn't it? So, and you don't produce enough of it, or as much of it, sorry, as you do with barley. So I don't particularly want to be doing that. It must be one of the most satisfying things with the a herbicide, watching it all just getting sprayed off. I think it's weird in FS, or it changed, didn't it? I can't remember exactly when it changed. It might have been sort of a year into it, but they changed the rules with the weeds, didn't they? Where you it went straight to like the second growth stage rather than it went straight to medium, didn't it, rather than small. Which is really, really annoying considering we roll fields off now as well. especially on a small series like this where herbicide costs an absolute fortune. I think we're, well, you can see, looks like we're about to run out of herbicide. I think we go and get it filled up soon, so you'll probably see a transition as well, I imagine. I'm saying that because there's only 15% left, and whether it'll get through the whole thing or not. Looks like them wheels were going to come off the ground there, didn't it? It's been an ace little tractor, this. Like, I'm really glad we started with this one. I mean, it was one of them series, wasn't it, where we start with like the sort of smallest equipment we can. I mean, I say one of them series. Most of our series are like that. Forest Challenge has been like that. Didn't even start off with a proper tractor in that one, did we? There we go, we're out. I assume. There we go. I was going to say, there's no way I'd have left us in just driving over there and filling up. So it looks like just a couple of more runs. Or not. Why have we? I must have just been halfway down. I know when we come to the big field, most of it's time lapsed. Which we're pretty much about to do now. What I do is, I think we have to change vehicles over because of the growth stage of that. Yeah, so we're in the Massey because it's got the row crop tyres on, which we had to change over because the little farm all doesn't have row crop tyres and it would destroy the crop. So it looks the sprayer looks a bit small on here, but unfortunately I had to do it. It's the same with the John Deere as well. We can't put the correct tyres on there. So yeah, we've brought the front loader up, load of herbicide in that. And once we get going, I think we pretty much go straight into a time lapse very shortly. Just waiting for the music to come on, and then that'll be my cue. I mean, this took a while because of the size of this sprayer. I remember this did take a little bit of time. So the music should be any time now. So yeah, sit back, enjoy the time lapse, and we'll be back shortly. Right, not long at all, and we're just finishing off. Hopefully this is the last little bit here. Like I said, it did take a good chunk of time, and I think if we have to do it again, we'll either get a mechanical weeder or we'll have to get a bigger sprayer. There's no way we can keep doing that. It's just too small. I mean, it's ideal. We'll keep the sprayer for for our other smaller fields, but yeah, we can't be doing that. You'll see, I remember saying at the time, you can see bits of green all over, but the weeds aren't there. And if you remember, we did a contract right at the beginning of the series, a fertilizer contract where you had to hit every single inch of that field for it to trigger. But I think that's pretty much us. Bit of a strange one. However, it couldn't be helped. I think we've done pretty much any time now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap up, and whatever's left over will just be sort of left in. I might even cut out right at the end. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in the next one.